there's nothing we can do about it, and hopefully it won't affect it. But we can always I can always edit that afterwards. Here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys, we're back here at Kung Fu and Karate Expo 16. And again, I'm going to apologize for the audio because it may cut in and out. There's a lot of activity going on. There's a lot of people here. There are a lot of grandmasters. And I'm sitting here with Shidoshi Nate Ingram, who is the... so what's your position with Deadly Art of Survival?
I'm the CEO.
Deadly Art of Survival. CEO and creator of Deadly Art of Survival magazine, which bills itself as a magazine that focuses on martial arts for people that don't get the accolades and recognition that they really should deserve. And tell me a little bit about that, because we went into it a little bit.
Okay, well, the magazine, it started out as a small project, me wanting to pay homage to a lot of guys that grew up like me in the city that were teaching for free and for little or no money at all, and with giving back to the community, teaching the kids respect, teaching them honor, teaching them about good health. And a lot of us were fighting, competing, and not getting any attention. And it wasn't so much about me, the idea of the magazine. It was more about my friends that I felt that were even better than I was, but you never heard about them. You never had a chance to read about them because no magazine would accept them in. So I felt that I wanted to start a magazine where their legacies can be preserved. They can tell their children, listen, anything you need to know about my martial arts background, tell your friends need to know, go buy out, I'll let you read the magazine. You don't have to buy it, I'll let you read it. And this preserves their legacy. So it was just a small idea, which turned out to be, now we're the #1 selling magazine on Amazon worldwide.
And legacy is important in the martial arts. It goes through all of the aspects of martial arts. It's a very important thing. You pass down what you've learned and you develop and train. And on that note, what is your background with martial arts?
I'm originally a Shotokan stylist.
Okay.
I started in Shotokan in 1968. I studied under Angel Crespo in Japanese Shotokan. And then at the same time, because we didn't have cable TV and video games and all that stuff, most of us trained really hard back then. It was very rare you ever seen an out-of-shape martial artist.
Right.
So I trained in Shotokan and Goju, Japanese Goju simultaneously, as well as I studied several Kung Fu styles too. I studied Praying Mantis, I studied White Crane. So I started my journey early, but with a traditional base, and then I did traditional Shotokan for years. Goju, I got to a Sandan, which is 3rd degree. I got to a Godan Shotokan, and then after that, I just put the styles together, man, and just, did my own thing.
Cool. We're at the Kung Fu and Karate Expo, and one of the things that I always am interested in hearing from the attendees here, what do you think is the state of martial arts today? You mentioned it a little bit. You said, back then you guys trained really hard. It might be a little bit different nowadays. How has it changed for you?
A lot of it changed because, in my opinion, this is my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just believe that the instructors had to become stronger because it's hard to retain students, and because of, like I said before, cable TV, video games, cell phone, it's hard to grab a child's attention. So when we used to train 2-3 hours a day, the kids nowadays, if you get them for 45 minutes, that is hard enough.
Yeah.
You understand? And they don't have the drive that we have because they have so many other options. So I think it's not fair to say that these kids are not better than us, or that we're better than them, we train harder. I just think that it has gotten watered down a lot because due to the circumstances surrounding the kids now.
So what then can the industry do to kind of level it back up, or is it too far gone?
I think it's a little far gone. I think that the approach of a lot of instructors has got to be different. I think instead of talking so much in their classes, they got to lead by example. For example, when I train, even to this day, I train with my students. I show them how hard I train. I show my work ethics, and that goes over to them. They see how motivated I am. They see how hard I want to train. They say, "Oh, I want to be like Shidoshi." want to train like him. And a lot of my students, they develop that habit like I did. And it's called leading by example. And I think that's all on the instructor. If he leads by example, I think there can be a change. But if you allow your students to just sit there and listen to you all day and you're walking around with your belly surpass your shoes, you're not being a good example.
Sure.
And a student say, well, my instructor, he's telling me I should be disciplined and all this. Look at him. And this doesn't motivate. So I think it's a combination of things, but I think the main thing is I think the instructors have got to start leading by example, stop the foolishness, stop talking, and walk the walk.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, my show, the Kung Fu Driving Podcast, focuses a lot on action films, TV, martial arts in those particular bits of entertainment. And you were talking about how that entertainment is one of the things that is, kind of keeping kids busy. Is the martial arts in these forms of entertainment, is that ultimately a good thing because it spurs interest, or is it a bad thing because it's not real martial arts, or is there something in between?
I would be lying if I say that martial arts movies are a bad thing. Because just about all of us started, I was before Bruce Lee era, before his movies came out, but he influenced a lot of martial arts. Even I was already a black belt when Enter the Dragon came out. I had just got my black belt that June, and he died that July. So I think that it's a good thing. Martial arts movies, entertaining, and you have a lot of good martial arts, quality martial artists that's doing martial arts, like Mike Jai White, Wesley Snipes. What's the other guy? Brad. I forget the gentleman's name. Really good. I was watching this movie the other day, but his name eludes me right now. However, getting back to the point, I think it can be a good and a bad thing. I think that if you make a poor movie wherein it's all about you and you're killing and you're cursing and you're acting, I don't go into those movies, but I do like martial arts movies with good stories. And they're saying good things and they're watching what's coming out of their mouth. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
You've done some acting yourself?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell me about some of the films you've done?
Yes, I did about maybe 5 or 6 films, but I turned down quite a few because I started, that's not the direction I want to go. So I turned down more than what I did. Maybe 5, I did American Born Chinese with Don Kaya Wilson. I did Revenge of the Black Ninja with Ty Mock with The Last Dragon. I also did with Sugar Cross. Well, actually, I auditioned, but I auditioned for that movie, but I did also The Toms in Chinatown. It was about martial arts gangs. Not martial arts gangs, but gang members in the 1970s. I was a member of the Ghost Shadows back in the 1970s, and it was a takeoff from that. So I was in several movies.
Cool. What then is the primary focus of the Deadly Art of Survival?
The primary focus of the Deadly Art of Survival is to preserve the legacies of the martial artists in the inner city that's not getting their just due. There's so many martial artists I know that I came up with that have won thousands of, and I mean literally thousands of tournaments since the 1970s. You'll never see them in the magazines. You'll never hear about them because they're not marketable. They don't have the right look. A lot of guys don't care. But my thing is, if you put so much hard work into your craft, why wouldn't you want people to know who you are? And for those who want people to know who they are, and those that don't have the opportunities because other magazines will not put them in, this is the magazine for you.
Awesome. So then tell the audience where they can find the magazine and all the contact info so that we can get that.
Yes, you can get the Deadly Art of Survival magazine on Amazon. We're the #1 martial arts magazine right now worldwide. We have a lot of followers. We're up to our 6th edition. which features Wesley Snipes, and we have our 7th edition coming out in July. And can't tell you who's on the cover, but we have our Kung Fu edition coming out in September. All Kung Fu. We just had our All Kung Fu edition that came out in April, and it was a big hit. So we got a lot of things happening, but you can get it on Amazon, or you can go to our website, www.deadlyartsurvival.com.
And if you doubt that Yoshi Nate has any kind of fighting experience, look at his knuckles.